Now, delegates from most countries in the world are gathering in the Canadian capital in the hopes of making progress on a global plastics treaty. They face tense negotiations with parties deeply divided over what should be included. If governments can agree on a legally binding treaty that addresses how plastics are produced, used and discarded, it could become the most significant pact to address climate issues since the 2015 Paris deal. The production of plastics accounts for 5% of climate emissions and could grow to 20% by 2050 unless limited. Thousands of delegates, including negotiators, lobbyists and non-profit observers, are at the Ottawa summit. It's the fourth negotiating round ahead of a final agreement due in December.
Accumulating plastic, production of plastic pollution, and we need to stop doing this because it's killing us. It's killing the world. Plastic poison is killing the world. It's killing fish, humans, animals, biosystems. It's killing everything. We have to stop it. We have to have a better plan.
For the past 2 days, the incredible turnout by ministers and delegations from around the world has inspired hope. And we're already making a lot of headway on landing an agreement on some common goals. In the past 48 hours, we've heard that plastic waste is the perfect byproduct of the 20th century consumer culture. Cheap, disposable, and modern, or so we thought. It has created a thrown-away generation. And we agree that there has to be a better way.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined now from our studios in Lagos by Toluwalashe Abiona, an environmentalist who's also the founder of Zero Plastic Straw Community. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Tell us more about the impact this plastic pollution is having on the environment.
Thank you very much for having me. The impact plastic pollution is having on the environment is the environmental impact on how it affects life underwater, how it affects life on land, also how it affects human health, and also an economic impact in every country and nation at large.
Right, and I understand that plastics has a disproportionate impact on communities here in Nigeria and across Africa, with plastic choking their rivers, as you hinted there, and their sewage systems. And that is affecting livelihoods, isn't it?
Yes, it is affecting livelihood, it's affecting businesses, it causes flooding, it causes blockage of drainages. You see plastics everywhere, it's in our landfills, it's under the water, it's even in our drinking water as well. So that's why we are trying to make sure everybody understands the importance of reducing single-use plastics today.
And from what I've been reading, Africa has the added burden of what's been described as waste colonialism, where countries in the global north are dumping plastic waste in Africa. I mean, are you aware of that? What more can you tell us about it?
Okay, concerning that, because our ocean is made up of 70% of the planet, and there's no how when plastics are dumped in landfills and end up in drainages, it will go across different borders and also different oceans. So it begins to affect other countries, other developing countries in Africa as well. So we've seen that this issue is very, very current, and we need to do so many things about it, because Africa is we have so many developing countries in Africa, and we also need support from developed countries contributing these impacts in our own country as well and continent.
Right. Now, I understand that out of 54 countries in Africa, around 35 have banned plastic bags, for instance, or have some form of regulation with regard to reducing plastics in their countries. But I guess the big challenge is implementation, isn't it?
Yes, That is the big challenge. And I'll give Rwanda as an example. When it started in 2008, you see that Rwanda is now a plastic-free country. So it's very possible for every country in Africa to also adopt that. Another example is Lagos State in Nigeria that has also decided to start implementing and advocating for the reduction of single-use plastics as well. So yes, it's a gradual process, and it's important everybody understands why they all have to come on board to stop plastic pollution.
Absolutely. And of course, it doesn't just affect the environment, it also affects human health.
Exactly.
Now, there's a global push towards implementing a worldwide plastics treaty. That's what this UN conference in Canada that's currently underway is trying to achieve as the way to address the plastic pollution crisis. Is it likely to be effective if it's passed? Because I understand that it may not be legally binding and that several countries are opposing it.
Yes, it will be effective if it is passed, because we will finally have a global plastic treaty that can help us end plastic pollution for good. You know, so the United Nations Global Plastic Treaty is very important that both developed and developing countries adopt it. It may not be as simple like to stop it at the immediate effect of what we're trying to do, but it is important that they all agree to it, because we know that it is for the betterment of our future generations, of our own lives as well, and even our planet at large. So yes, I believe that the United Nations Global Plastic Treaty will really do justice to plastic pollution.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for joining us and for your thoughts there. Tolu Walashe Abiona is an environmentalist, and she's also the founder of Zero Plastic Straw Community, and she was talking to me there from our studios in Lagos.